there, welcome back to Vivid Practice. I'm Nicola Canton. Today we're learning a fun practice game or practice strategy, whatever you prefer to call it, that you can use with your students. For this, you'll need 3 small tokens of some sort. They could be erasers. These are little animal erasers that I have here. You could have pencil sharpeners, pencils, small toys, any small tokens really. It's more fun if there's something cute, but they don't have to be. You're going to put those 3 things on the left side of the instrument, left side of the piano stand, music stand, left side of the room, wherever makes sense. And then you're going to pick the problem you want to solve. So it should be a small chunk of a piece, not a whole piece, usually. And you're going to pick a specific problem. So let's say it's just like a 4-bar section, and the goal is to play it with the metronome at 60 BPM. Or without playing that one wrong note that the student keeps playing in the middle. Or with the right rhythm, or with the right coordination between the hands, or whatever the issue is that's coming up. But make sure it's clear and that it's stated out loud. You both know what it is that you're aiming towards. And then the student is going to play it with that objective in mind. If they achieve that objective, and I usually would like the student to be able to tell me if they have or not. So if they have, they're going to have 1 token, critter, whatever you have, cross the river. And it's going to sit now on the right side. And then they're going to play it again. If they do it right again, another critter goes across the river to the right side of the piano or the music stand. They play it again. If they get it wrong this time, let's say, then one of the critters goes back to the left. And they keep going until all 3 of their tokens are on the right side of the piano. So it's a simple structure. It almost makes them do 3 in a row correctly, although it's not actually, because it might only be 2 in a row correctly when you finish. If you want it to be 3 in a row correct, then you would have to send everyone back every time there's a mistake, and that it tends to be a bit too harsh. The magic of this, though, is that students will generally figure out that if they go faster and faster, or with a bit of nudging from us, they'll figure out that if they go faster and faster, it's not going to get them there faster. If they go slower, or do a smaller chunk, or reduce the difficulty in some other way, they're going to be able to get those critters across the river. This is a great one for using in their home practice too, but as with all practice tools and practice games, I always advise doing it lots of times in the lesson and really focusing on that, and then just suggesting, hey, maybe you'd like to try this at home, or let's try that at home this week, and not being too fussed if they don't end up going through with it, because they might not. And really, that's not the point. We're slowly over time training them in what good practice looks like. We're hoping that bleeds through into their home practice, but that's kind of the long game. In the short term, we're just achieving great results during the lesson, and that should be good enough for us, right? So crossing the river is great for pushing through. It's also amazing for getting students to actually listen when they don't normally actually listen to what they're playing. So some students kind of start playing and they just shut off their ears, or they're just like going through the motions, expecting you to tell them whether things are right or wrong or what to do next. And this kind of puts them not completely in the driver's seat, but it makes them take a lot more responsibility for the result of what they're playing, right? So can they actually get the 3 things across the river? If they can't, it's usually because the thing is too difficult, or they're not concentrating, or they're not in the right mindset, or they need to practice it some other way first. But it puts that focus on it and gives it a clear objective, a clear goal. And the little critters or whatever little tokens you use, that's just a cute and fun physical manifestation of the correct attempts, right? And it's painful to put them back across the river. So every time they have to do that, hopefully they renew their focus. Now, quick troubleshooting thing on this. If you do have a student that's getting frustrated with this, the goal is probably too big. That does happen. Us teachers don't always get it right. So we want to step away from it for a bit, maybe not try crossing the river again until next week. And when you do, try it with something much smaller, because we want them to feel like this is a manageable thing they can do, that it's a fun practice game. It's not pure struggle bus, right? So that's crossing the river. I hope you'll give it a try with your students. It's a really fun one to do. It can achieve amazing results. And you can encourage students to do it at home as well through their assignment notes, whether you're using Vivid Practice or some other tool for that. Enjoy!